Ian Black is a visiting senior fellow at the London School of Economics Middle East Centre and joins me live now. Ian, thanks for joining us on the programme. I firstly just want to get your reaction to this news that we're hearing that Israel and Hamas have agreed to a possible ceasefire. Israel at a cabinet meeting tonight. Hamas also confirming a mutual truce with Israel. Can this be seen as one positive step in what has been a pretty desperate conflict?
Well, yes, of course. International concern has grown in the last 11 days as the casualties have mounted, particularly on the Palestinian side. This is a most asymmetrical conflict, and obviously the Palestinians always suffer more in terms of civilian casualties. But I think that the Israeli decision, just reported now, is designed to ensure that that its decision, the government of Prime Minister Netanyahu, and to avoid the impression of any kind of negotiation, albeit indirectly, with Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Of course, Hamas is seen by Israel as a terrorist organization, and it doesn't want to negotiate with it directly at all. So I think that the announcements bear the mark, if you like, of unchanging positions on both sides, actually. And the international community clearly has to act more determinedly than it has in the past few years. There's no question about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of criticism of Israel at the United Nations General Assembly today, but also criticism over President Biden for being what one ambassador called complicit in crimes committed by Israel. Is the criticism of the US and Biden justified, in your opinion?
Well, you know, President Biden does not want to deal with this conflict, but it's not going to go away of its own accord. And in fact, you know, as the world has seen over the past few days, the conflagration is always waiting to be ignited, if you like. And Hamas took advantage of the unrest in East Jerusalem in the end of Ramadan in order to present itself as the defender of Palestinian rights. And of course, as long as Palestinian rights are ignored, this conflict is not going to end. So Biden doesn't want to deal with it. He focused on returning to the Iranian nuclear deal of 2015, distinguishing himself from his predecessor, Donald Trump. But he can't ignore this most intractable of conflicts. And I think the United States has to do more, and particularly to pressure Israel to reach a two-state solution to this conflict with the Palestinians.
But is a two-state solution still a viable solution when neither side is really willing to compromise?
Well, that's a good question, but in my view, there is no other solution to this conflict. Israel and the Palestinians, neither of them are going to go away, and they deserve the right to self-determination, both peoples. But it's hard to achieve, but there is no other solution to this conflict. It's become increasingly fashionable to describe Israel as an apartheid colonial settler state, but that's not going to provide a solution. I think the only solution is two states for the two peoples who are determined to, who have to live together in this holy land to both sides. And I don't think there's anything else to be done in terms of achieving that end to this conflict.
Okay. Okay, Ian Black joining us live there from London. Thanks so much for your thoughts. We appreciate you coming on the programme.